just asking for a friend here, but is Meghan Markle using cheap labour and exploiting the poor from third world countries for her freaking brand? Hey up everyone, it's me, Stef The Alter Nerd, your nerdy alternative, and welcome to the Dose of the Daily Nerd, where I break down the royal news and gossip of the day that's pretty much caught my eye. And oh my goodness, yeah, let's jump into this madness, shall we? Because again, I'm just asking for a friend here. Is Megsy using cheap labour and exploiting the poor from third world countries for her freaking brand, American Riviera Orchard, or whatever the douche she's actually going to call it? Now, this is coming from a blind item from Crazy Days and Nights. Because this is a blind item, please do your own research, come to your own conclusions here, all right? Now, when the blind item here is talking about, quote, the illiterate one, I'm assuming they're meaning Meghan Markle here, okay? And when, talking about the brand situation again, I'm assuming they're talking about American Riviera Orchard. So here we go. The illiterate one is all in with the locally sourced items. The problem is, her locally sourced items are from third world countries where her profit margins are higher. So I read this. I'm assuming that they're talking about Meghan Markle and American Riviera Orchard. To be fair, they could be talking about anyone here, but this is just my assumption, all right? And I'm thinking, well, hang on a minute. If my assumption's correct, then I'm asking for a friend here. Is Megsy using cheap labour from third world countries and exploiting the poor for her brand so she can have bigger freaking profit margins? So she can make more money from her jam, goop, whatever you want to freaking call it, and her dog biscuits and whatnot? Is she exploiting the poor? Because, Megsy's all about helping the poor, lifting them up, showing up and doing good, right? Going to places like Colombia and Nigeria and being like, yay, we're going to help the poor, blah, 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 blah. We're going to give you some drums and some bags with pens and paper in it, and we're going to tell you all about the dangers of social media, blah, blah, blah. Like, that's what they need. That's what they need, right? Read the room, Megsy. Read the freaking room. But this is the thing, right? It's not unheard of, right, for bigger brands to be caught out using cheap labour and exploiting the poor in third world countries or countries that are not as affluent. So, we've got 13 years ago here, Apple being accused of exploiting Chinese workers. Poorly paid workers are said to work excessive hours and suffer humiliations in the drive to produce the iPads and iPhones. More recently, last year, fashion brands H&M, Primark, Zara accused of exploiting Bangladesh workers. More recently, only a couple of months back, I remember this one because, guys, I'm a fan of Christian Dior makeup. I have been since I was 16 years old. So when I saw this really shocked me. Maybe I'm naive, I grant you. But Dior and Armani under investigation for exploiting workers at Chinese factories in Italy. The allegation being, and I'm paraphrasing here, that it's costing like £1, €1, $1, right, to make the Dior bags that Dior then sells for like $2,000-3,000 a pop. Even that, the optics on that just do not look good whatsoever. So I'm looking at all these articles, right? All these headlines. I then look at this blind item, assuming again that they're talking about Megsy and American Riviera Orchard. My assumption could be incorrect. Do your own research, come to your own conclusions. But if my assumption is right, I'm thinking, well, hang on a minute. Could we see in the future, if this brand is actually launched, American Riviera Orchard being in one of these headlines? Now, I'm saying if this brand is actually going to be launched. Now, it looks like Team Sussex are trying to fight back on that rumour because apparently Megsy's set to sparkle in 2025 with a cooking, gardening and entertaining TV comeback and brand launch. even though, as I've just reported over the last 24 hours with your favourite DC lawyer, John Witherspoon, Megsy's threatening, apparently, to fire her own lawyer because of all the brand blunders that she's experienced trying to trademark American Riviera Orchard, even though the only person really to blame is Megsy. Yeah. How is she going to freaking launch this brand when she can't even get it past the trademark office and she's allegedly threatening to fire her lawyer because of the brand blunders? That is Megsy's fault. It's not the lawyer's fault. Let's be real here, right, guys? Now, we have Sabira Loin here saying, imagine blaming your team because you're the reason why it's not going through. She made the decision to use that name and the mark. Don't blame your lawyers. This is blah, when I could get my teeth back in. This is exactly why designers and many people stand clear of her. Instead of taking responsibility for her own actions, she throws it at someone else. I hope a lawyer just quits on her. Thanks, tribes, for sharing this. Typical narcissist blaming others. And this is the thing, right? From what we know and from what we gather, Megsy is an absolute control freak based on reports that have come out in the past. It's either her way or the highway. And as it was reported earlier on this year, when Princess Catherine released that Mother's Day photo and all the controversy surrounding that, sources close to Megsy was coming out and saying she'd never do that because she's got a freakishly eye for the attention to detail. Yeah, well, if her attention to detail is freakishly good, then why all the trademark blunders that have been going on since pretty much the year dot? Just a question for a friend, just a question for a friend. But this is the thing, right? As Royally Sage at Sage1411 is saying, look, of course she blames the lawyers. She refuses to change the name, which is the issue. Because at the moment, you've got a multi-billion-dollar company actually raising an objection to a trademark in the first place, saying that it's too close to their own name. I wonder who's going to win. Little piddly Megsy, who apparently is pretty much running out of money and has, apparently, if you're to believe the word through the grapevine, is cutting off the ATM to her. Or a multi-billion-dollar conglomerate. I know where I'd put my money in terms of who I would bet on winning that particular fight. Hint, it's not Megsy at all. That is for damn certain. But if we go around full circle here, right, guys? She is struggling to even lift this brand up from the floor because she can't even get it past the trademark office. And if she does, oh, bloody hell, if this is to be believed, is Megsy going to be using cheap labour and exploiting the poor from third world countries for her brand so she can increase her profit margins and make more money? If that's the case, if that is to be believed, then could we in the future see American Riviera Orchard in these kind of headlines? I'm just asking for a friend, guys. With that being said, if you appreciated this video and you want more, and believe me, of course, there's going to be more, you do not want to miss my next video, then make sure you subscribe to join our Alter Nerd tribe, because I'll be honest with you, help us now get to 1 million so we can also get that gold play button right there and hopefully cause a Meghan Markle meltdown on Instagram. Like, share, comment down below your opinion, conspiracy theories, whatever's. Also, as well, if you've got some very strong opinions about all of this, and I bet you do, then make sure you send me a super thanks. It's just below this video right here. We can have a conversation about this because it does guarantee a response from me. And until the next time, you guys, laters.